Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money channel. Boy, what a difference 24 hours can make, guys. This is the Bitcoin chart on the hourly, and 24 hours ago, roughly in and around here, Bitcoin was trading at 90,600, 90,700. I think that is where we clocked in yesterday. Well, fast forward 24 hours, and guys, this is how fast the market can move. $96,500 for Bitcoin. We did see a spike to the upside. Of course, there are still some resistance hurdles that Bitcoin does have to get past. One of the major ones is this one here, over $100,000 at about $102,700 per coin. The crypto market is reacting to the Bitcoin push. You can see fear and greed is now at 46, so still in neutral territory. Bitcoin dominance, though, that's actually going up because Bitcoin is seeing some more gains, but the market, guys, a bit more exuberant than it was over the last few days. Market cap is now at 3.34 trillion. We've seen an increase of 5.5%. The top 100 coins by volume is also up by 5.7%. So Bitcoin in the last 24 hours has gained 6% on the nose here. Ethereum is up 4.73. We've got XRP, guys. That has also been pumping 8.67% in the last 24 hours. So XRP still holding in the number 3 spot. BNB coin is up 4.7. Solana's up 6.4. Dogecoin up 9.9%. And we've got others rounding off the top 10. Cardano's up 7, just over 7%. And Tron is up 2.7%. So looks like altcoins are regaining a bit of steam. And just taking a look at XRP here, you guys can see XRP did come out of this inverted head and shoulders pattern. Boom. And now we're up out of that. So ultimately, what we do have to see, though, is we do have to see XRP surpass this level in here. Of course, that's just looking at XRP on the micro time frame. Let's zoom out because we're long-term hodlers. So zooming out on this chart would do us, I think, a little bit better. So zooming out on the daily, and let's go back to, let's throw it on the 4-hour so we can see what the last month has looked like. Let me get rid of some of that. The $2.60 mark has now, we've retraced to that point. And now, guys, the next level is $2.72. That is the next level up before the most recent high of $2.90. So XRP maintaining momentum. Hopefully this does continue as the rest of the market is heating up. I don't see why it wouldn't continue. But you guys can see, boom, like that, on a dime, the crypto market can turn around. And this is why we have to pay attention. This is why I'm letting my Patreon subscribers know what I'm doing day by day, minute by minute. Patreon.com/workingmoney channel if you guys are interested in following my crypto journey. Again, it's not financial advice. I'm just being transparent as to what I'm doing in this crypto bull run. In 2025, guys, this is going to be the most exciting year. I have no doubt. Even Tom Lee from Fundstrat is saying there's still time to buy the Bitcoin dip. Listen to this.
For those folks who are watching who are not in Bitcoin or are thinking about buying Bitcoin at these prices, are you saying that this is a fair and good price to get in, or are you saying wait because you think it's going farther down?
You know, Bitcoin is something you need to be long-term focused. I don't think anyone's going to lose money buying here at 90. If they're trying to time this, maybe they'll get lucky and it goes to 70. But to me, Bitcoin could be significantly higher this year, maybe 200, 250. So I think 90 is still a good entry point.
I don't doubt it for a second, at $90,000, which it was trading at yesterday. Now, of course, it has gone up a little bit. Still a pretty good entry point for Bitcoin, considering where we are assuming the market will go in the coming months. Again, guys, don't forget, Bitcoin has just over the last 6 months or so, a little longer than that, has or had been rejected at the all-time high, consolidated, made that first push to the upside. In historical bull runs, we have seen much higher prices for Bitcoin relatively. So something to be paying attention to. Wanted to thank Altcoin Daily for posting that. There is no coin in the entire history of cryptocurrency that has consolidated longer than XRP. So remember, for XRP, guys, it's been nearly 7 years. As they say, the wider the base, the higher in space. Crypto Insight UK bringing up this chart with regards to the XRP BTC trend. Let's bring up that chart real quickly here. So BTC to XRP, no, it's XRP to BTC is what we need to look at here. So this is the dominance chart when we're looking at XRP, comparing it to BTC and how well XRP has done in comparison. You guys can see, so on a former show, I did indicate this bullish pennant pattern. Now you guys can see, by the way, this is the daily chart. XRP is moving out of that pennant pattern, and hopefully we do see higher highs for XRP compared to BTC as well. So it's going to be a dominance game. When Bitcoin dominance does go down, this is when we'll see altcoins going up. Right now, though, we are seeing Bitcoin dominance going up slightly. This is the Bitcoin dominance chart on the weekly. We still need to see that dominance crash. So after Bitcoin hits a new high, then money flows out of Bitcoin and into altcoins, guys, we will see dominance fall. And then we really have to be careful about what we do next when we sell our altcoins. Again, for more information on what I'm doing, patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. What else do we have today? Well, apparently a big American bank has gone on the record saying XRP, the XRP ETF, or a XRP ETF, when one comes out, might attract over $8 billion. Billion with a B. This is no longer under the radar, guys. This is becoming mainstream. Banking giant JP Morgan has predicted that a spot-based XRP exchange-traded fund could attract impressive inflows ranging from $3 billion to $8 billion. The estimate is based on the performance of Bitcoin and Ethereum ETFs that were launched last year. So what they are looking at is past behavior for these particular crypto assets. ETF assets account for roughly 8% of Bitcoin's total market cap, which currently stands at $1.81 trillion. I actually think it could be more than this because XRP is actually a coin that is currently being utilized. Whereas Bitcoin and Ethereum, I mean, there isn't as much integration with those particular coins and real-world partnerships, I guess we could say, and global partnerships too. Let's think of the volume that could be flowing through XRP very shortly. So they are, I think it's a pretty conservative estimate, $3 to $8 billion. Notably, JP Morgan also expects Solana to perform at a similar level. There are multiple industry players vying to launch an XRP ETF in the US, including Bitwise, WisdomTree, and other contenders. Last week, Nate Gerasi, one of the top ETF analysts, predicted that a spot XRP ETF would end up getting approved this year. And Polymarket users are currently estimating that there is about a 59% chance that an XRP ETF will be approved by 2025 in this year. So interesting metrics here. I guess it's just a matter of time. Brad Garlinghouse seemed very positive on that particular prediction. Jungle Inc. even commenting that JP Morgan predicts that there will be $3 to $8 million inflows into the XRP ETF. When in fact it is released, JP Morgan analysts believe a spot XRP ETF could attract between $3 and $8 billion. Why it matters, guys, XRP adoption in payment solutions is already significant. ETFs for Bitcoin and Ethereum currently represent 3 to 8% of their market caps. The approval of the XRP ETF could trigger massive institution and retail interest, further solidifying XRP's role in the crypto market. So that's the other thing, guys, the mainstream exposure. It all will culminate. Remember, XRP is a top 10 cryptocurrency. This is also what gives it exposure. People who are just getting into crypto, they're not going to be scrolling to the bottom of this list and going to, page 6 and then scrolling somewhere in the middle and saying, okay, I want to buy Bancor coin. Nobody does that. When people get into cryptocurrency for the first time, what they do is they'll look up, what's a list of coins? CoinMarketCap is generally the first thing they'll find on Google, and they'll look here and they'll say, okay, well, there's Bitcoin. I know about Bitcoin. Ethereum, XRP, that's at a pretty affordable price. Maybe I will buy that. It's called crypto visibility. And this is just another avenue to get that crypto visibility, but to a mainstream audience through an ETF. So thought that was interesting. Wanted to thank Jungle Inc., of course, XRP Crypto Wolf, Moon Lambo, Crypto Insight UK, and Altcoin Daily just for posting those. Today is January the 14th if you're watching this video on the day that I'm releasing it, and tomorrow is the SEC deadline for filing their appeal brief in the Ripple case. If the SEC does not meet the deadline, will it be dismissed, guys? This coming from Brito XRPL here on Twitter. Well, we do have some more updates with regards to what is going on with the legal crusade in the United States when it comes to crypto. Huge congrats to Paul Grewal and Coinbase on their win today. Remember, guys, too, these are Gensler's final days as the SEC chair. His anti-crypto crusade is imploding, and a federal appeals court has laid bare what the industry has said for years. His selective enforcement of securities laws was a not-so-covert attempt to ban the industry outright. This courtesy of Stuart Alderati. Paul Grewal did post this. We just won our petition for the writ of mandamus at the Third Circuit, rebuking the SEC for its order denying our rulemaking petition. The court held that the SEC's order was conclusory and insufficiently reasoned and thus arbitrary and capricious. We grant Coinbase's petition in part and remand to the SEC for a more complete explanation. We appreciate the court's careful consideration. Paul Grewal did also comment, we further appreciate Judge Bibas's concurrence in which he speaks forcefully about the looming constitution concerns with ex post enforcement without announcing ex ante rules or guidance. It's impressive. It's an impressive piece of work. And then he links the source there. So interesting to say the least. So, it is interesting. We are seeing more regulation. We are at least seeing some wins in the crypto space. And I have a feeling the administration is going to shake things up big time once there is a new administration and once there is a new master at the helm of the SEC, with the MiCA regulations already now in place, the U.S. has to step it up. And, we're getting inclinations that they are, as we're seeing things like this occur. Tether has now relocated their headquarters to El Salvador after securing a digital asset service provider license. So Tether, of course, the company behind the USDT, did announce that they did move from the British Virgin Islands to El Salvador. The company's relocation is due to the country's favorable regulatory environment and its growing Bitcoin-savvy community and its forward-thinking policies, as this article does state here. Tether plans to build its new home in El Salvador, aiming to strengthen its focus on emerging markets and further its efforts in financial inclusion and decentralized technologies. We all know the story of Nayib Bukele making Bitcoin legal tender in the country in 2021. Well, now it's looking as though El Salvador is deciding they've got to make some moves here. Tether's move to El Salvador is a sign of avoiding stricter regulations in the United States. This coming from Ito Farina. It seems to be a calculated effort to escape regulatory pressure, and worse, could signal that Tether is preparing to lose its peg. There's all this doom and gloom. There's all this FUD surrounding Tether, and I got to say, it is a bit fuddy. I know in the United States, I know in the West, Tether is not looked at favorably. But there are other jurisdictions around the world that do use Tether, that use it in a business use case. Even Ripple was using Tether before the RLUSD launch. They said in certain jurisdictions around the world they were using Tether because it's liquid, right? It's a liquid USD pegged stablecoin. He says the timing is suspicious to say the least. Losing its peg in quotes, 0.9997, that's not really losing its peg. I mean, if it goes down to 95 or 90 cents, yeah, that's bad. But they are going to be relocating. I wonder how this is going to look in the future. Megan saying Tether licensed in El Salvador, strengthening focus on emerging markets and innovation. Again, we have to look beyond our borders. We have to understand that there are other countries that use Tether, guys, and Tether is still the number one USD pegged stablecoin in the world by market cap, by size. It is number one here on the list, just under XRP right now as of the time of this recording. Anyway, I guess we'll have to see what happens there. Wanted to thank Ito Farina, Paul Grual, and Stuart Alderati and Brito for posting those. So, speaking of stablecoins, I thought I'd bring this to you as well. With these two bills existing and one still making its way through the House, a reality exists where the Federal Reserve may not have their own CBDC platform. So, there was all this talk about CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, but now I get the feeling that because stablecoins can basically act as a CBDC, the idea of a CBDC is maybe taking a back seat to have like a Fed coin, right? Because now we have all these private companies issuing a USD-based stablecoin. Anyway, this is the No CBDC Act, and he also posted this one here, the CBDC Anti-Surveillance State Act. Mr. Mann does comment here, the Federal Reserve might use RippleNet to improve payments and make cross-border transactions faster and cheaper, since laws like the No CBDC Act and the Anti-Surveillance Act block direct government digital currency platforms. Ripple's system offers a solution. Now, remember what, who was it? Chris Andolfato? I think if my memory serves me correctly, I think that's what this gentleman's name is. I believe he used to work at the Federal Reserve of Boston or St. Louis. No, I think it's St. Louis. And years ago, I highlighted what he said at a conference, really essentially saying that we are the winners if we hold XRP. Smoke here bringing this up again today, how the RLUSD and XRP can help the Federal Reserve with issuing a digital dollar. Pay attention. In this documentation below, you can see that it is possible for the US CBDC to be issued with stablecoins. Again, it's no surprise. It's no surprise to me, at least, that they're deciding to regulate stablecoins first. Again, this is maybe their alternative to a CBDC. CBDCs have a bad name, bad reputation. The powers that be want to control us, yada, yada. But we know there are also control mechanisms in the RLUSD. The Fed is also going to play a big role in this. And let me play you guys a couple of these clips. So this is a screen grab just from a document outlining CBDCs in the United States. In any case, the decision to launch a digital dollar will require a thorough prior analysis that will take at least another 2 to 3 years in an environment that seems to lead to a coexistence of the CBDC if it finally is issued with stablecoins. And here's End Alfado explaining.
That is, people say, how can you trust, the Fed to do the bookkeeping? I mean, like I said, my response is, well, you don't expect the Fed to kind of steal your money. I mean, if the Fed can print all the money at once, it's not going to mess around with your bookkeeping. So, we have this big spreadsheet, the blockchain if you want, but it's just managed by the Fed, and it's very cheap, much cheaper than Bitcoin, if you're willing to delegate the responsibility to a third party. But then the downsides to all of that, of course, is you'd actually suppose you didn't want the Fed to be responsible for processing the payments. I mean, suppose, the Fed will likely impose some KYC restrictions on some purchases. They might not process some purchases that you might want to undertake. And so it was at that point that I said, well, we could, if we wanted to, extend the concept one step further. I'm not saying that this is ever going to happen, but just conceptually, you could imagine not FedWire for all, but kind of like a Fed coin, where what the Fed would do is actually just issue these, Bitcoin-like objects, but and they would enforce a par exchange rate with the U.S. dollar that would eliminate the exchange rate volatility. But they could delegate the clearing of these payments to some third party, some sort of Ripple-like protocol, or possibly even Bitcoin. I mean, we could delegate the responsibility of processing these electronic, Fedcoin payments to the miners.
So David End Alfado here gives a solution using a Ripple-like protocol. The Fed could actually do this. Now, he was an employee, I don't know if he still is, but was an employee of the Federal Reserve. He's right from the Federal Reserve of St. Louis. If my memory serves me correctly, again, I'm going to have to check that fact. Second, the role of a private sector is issuing stablecoins denominated in U.S. currency. We're seeing that more and more. Add to the list Ripple's Ripple's RLUSD. In this way, the institutions of the United States maintain the competence and jurisdiction to supervise the aforementioned actors.
David, fantastic presentation.
Thank you.
I'm one of the fellows who raised his hand when you asked who uses Ripple, Joe and myself. And I just want to say, it's very... I'm very happy to see that someone at the St. Louis Fed respects it at the very least. And I'm sure that from all the good things you said about it, many people in this room would like to hear more. But you mentioned that you foresee peer-to-peer currency-agnostic payment clearing systems such as Ripple coexisting with institutions such as central banks in the United States. And my question is, how are we going to see that happen? What is it going to take?
So thank you very much. And, all the nice things I said about Ripple, everybody knows to short it. Well, how do I see it? I mean, like you said, Ripple is a currency agnostic platform. It really doesn't care too much about creating and managing its money supply, although it does have its native money supply. So, it's doing, the way I exposited the idea, Ripple is handling the processing of payments for many of the world's unbanked people. Okay, and that the Fed is one institution that's providing a type of currency that people could use as payment using the Ripple protocol. But there may be other currencies. There could be Bitcoin, there could be the yen. So, I mean, I see room for coexistence. I mean, I see it today. I don't see any reason to doubt why it might not continue in the future.
There is certainly room for coexistence. This thing is just about to get larger and larger as the months go on. And the Federal Reserve, just one piece of the puzzle. So wanted to thank Smoke for just reminding us about those David End Alfado clips again from the Fed. This is why Ripple is also expanding, guys. They have to be big enough to have liquidity. But could there be another move at play here? Austin King, you guys remember Austin King? He was recently interviewed on the Tony Edward Thinking Crypto podcast. He posted this tweet thread, maybe clarifying some things for us about Ripple and why they're going on a buying spree. Remember, they bought his company a while ago. They have now purchased $250 million worth of companies. So what is their strategy here for XRP? As one of the founders who sold their company to Ripple, here's what I believe they are building towards. It all comes down to tokenization and how banks will leverage blockchain in the coming years. I'll cover 2 acquisitions in particular that position Ripple to seize this opportunity, or rather to seize this opportunity. What is the first component of this strategy? Well, the Medico acquisition. Banks can now give their customers access to crypto products via Ripple custody services. So think about it, guys. Already, Citibank, HSBC, BNP Paribas, and others are using the platform, along with Société Générale. So those are just some banks that are using the platform. But what is the strategy once banks are onboarded into these custody services? Then we have the standard custody acquisition. Banks will be able to tokenize assets on the XRP ledger. And the RLUSD, that always comes back into play here. It's just Ripple's first tokenized asset. Soon Ripple will begin to offer tokenization as a service to banks. Most people are misunderstanding the next step in this strategy. Next, they will expand those tokenized assets across the entire on-chain economy. But wait, if the assets leave the XRP ledger, what is the point of all of this? Ripple's strategy here is to turn the XRP ledger into a tokenization hub for banks worldwide. With this, they can add fee mechanisms from tokenization that are far more profitable than transaction fees. The future of XRP is transaction fees plus tokenization fees. Ripple bought my first company that was focused on interoperability. With my current company, Omni, I want to support the XRPL or the XRP ledger's opportunity to expand banks' tokenized assets across all chains. This is the 100x opportunity this cycle, and we are laser focused on it. You are early right now, he says. With the incoming Trump administration, the pace of progress is about to accelerate substantially. Follow me for more insights on Ripple's strategy. Again, guys, this is Austin King. This guy here, CEO of Omni Labs, did sell his company to Ripple, and he's saying they're looking to expand to integrate all banks, making the XRP ledger a tokenization hub. They're going to make money off the transaction fees plus the tokenization fees. And he's also saying we are very, very early right now. And with the incoming Trump administration, this is about to take off. So are we going to see meaningful real world utility in 2025? And how high is the price of XRP going to go? I don't know. But for more information, what I'm monitoring this crypto bull run, follow me at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel for more information on that. Until then, subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.